Oh, I'm live. You guys just missed the burp, I think. I'm so sorry. I didn't contribute with a starting burp here. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hello, hi, hello, hello, hola, language. What's going on? Hope you're all having a nice Saturday so far. I mean, mine is like halfway done though. And all I did was watch this and prepare it for this occasion just now. Crazy. That's how it goes. That's what I do these days. That is just what I do these days. Ah. Oh, look who it is. Mr. Meme Repository. You haven't watched Andor meme, eh? I would be surprised. I'm surprised if everyone has seen Andor because no one has been talking about it. Very satisfied with this notification. Thanks, YouTube. Very good. Just wanted to call you gay. That's fair. That's fair. Hope you're having a nice Saturday, Mr. May. I regret it. You regret the message you got for me being live? That's fair. Just went Sunday. Well, hope you're having you had a nice Saturday then. I have so many hours left on my Saturday. I don't even know what to do with it. I'm probably just gonna chillax after the stream or something. Or maybe I'll play some more Silent Hill later. I don't know. I woke up, started watching this, then made some food in between, had some food, watched some YouTubes. Tried to bother Ass to join me in here, but he was streaming already, and I don't think he saw my messages in the stream if he wants to join. Then again, I don't even know if he watched the show, because I don't think he has been talking about it on his channel. So I don't know. He was the only one I figured would maybe be watching the show. So, yeah. My Saturday is already expired. You only saw episode 1? Oh, okay. Well, then the question would have been silly anyways. Yeah, because I messaged him on Twitter because that's like the easiest way for me to reach him. But then like an hour later, I saw that, oh, he's streaming, so that's why he hasn't responded. That makes sense. So yeah, but then again, would have been nonsensical anyway. Good old Fleems. And Gary gave up. Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy the first 3 episodes. I liked them actually quite a bit. Not as much on the second watch through, but these 2 episodes, I was like not super invested. This is actually the 2 episodes where I would have probably said, oh, you could have probably just condensed that into 1 episode easily. This was very slow. And I think we could have done this easily in an episode. Because I felt like in the first 3 episodes, yes, you could have put that in a bit less time. But I feel there was a lot of things that you could catch something from or gather something from that I enjoyed. But here in these 2 episodes, we're just kind of jumping back and forth, and the only goal we see right now for us is them doing their hit on this garrison. Oh, this is probably going to be a pretty loose kind of forge. I don't know, because there's stuff to talk about, but there's nothing you can conclude yet, because we were still on the way to things right now. But yeah, it's I don't know. It felt like ages for me to go through these episodes. Obviously, I took notes and everything, but I don't know, man. I wasn't as engaged with these 2 episodes as I was with the first 3. The first 3, I was like, oh, I want to see what happens next. But this one is like, okay, can we get to the thing now? Because I understand they have tension in this team because he got put in there 3 days before they do the plan, and everyone is like sus about this guy. So yeah, I don't know, man. So we have to do the heist thingy next episode. because they basically arrive at that garrison at the end. It was like instant conflict, just add water. That's actually a pretty good explanation for it, or comparison. It's like, oh, they were probably not like this. And it was like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? And then there's one guy, hey, thanks for the help. And they keep doing that. They do it like 3 times in one episode, and then more in the next episode on the way to the team, to the mission. I don't know. It was just kind of, okay, I get it. Get on with it. Like, this time I was actually like, okay, I get it. It's fine. And then maybe you could have done all this during the mission, where they have to figure out or get along for now, and then they can talk about it later or something. I don't know. A little annoyed by Andor, if you couldn't tell. Hey, I get it, man. Because I feel like the dialogue in this show is actually pretty good. The actors pretty much all do a pretty good job with the dialogue. It feels like people are talking to each other and they're just reading lines at each other. But there's not a lot to it, if that makes any sense. Because this whole conflict stuff, the way they act it out and do the lines is it's alright, I would say. Pretty good in some cases as well. But I know overall, I think mid for this is like actually like the best thing. It's just like, that's okay. But now that we're the conclusion after 3 episodes, I guess the next 3rd episode is going to be the conclusion for the Garrison thing that's going to happen. We learn that the police people are donezo. That's the thing that happens. So we don't get a lot of scenes with this. He's just chilling out at his mom's place because he's now without a job or anything. So we don't get those cool police scenes, which is kind of sad, because those were probably my favorite parts about the show. I don't know, man. I don't know where we're going with this show at the moment. We're doing this Garrison thing, then I guess Andor at some point is going to be like, yeah, I want to join you guys. Fuck them. I guess that's going to be his... I hate these. Hates the Imperial. I just don't know. I don't know. Not great enough to dive into it, not terrible to meme the hell out of it. Just a gigantic meh. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Guess he forgot about his sister. I think that's for when we actually do rebellion stuff more. Because this is just like the thing that happens next. And this is going to give him a bunch of cash that he could use for that. But then again, I guess something is going to happen that he's not going to get cash. And then, joins the rebellion or whatever they're going to call themselves in the beginning. The fact that you love She-Hulk so much kind of destroys your credibility, to be honest. Wait a minute. That's not true. She-Hulk is no bueno. You are a liar. Don't you around, Jorms? No, he loves Rings of Power. Oh my god. No. Oh well. Ow, scratched myself. Ouchie. Yeah, that's what's been going on. That's the things. I guess just start with episode 4, Rooney. Let me get my copyright boy up. And then I would just go through it. So we're basically in space now. They're in their shuttle. Andor and Luthen are. And they fly away from the planet with their hyperdrive flim-flams. And I immediately was like, oh, so that police spaceship is not going to do anything? Like, they didn't intercept this police ship or anything. And I checked back, and that police ship has, like, weaponry and everything, and they should be on high alert. But we don't even see that police ship anymore. So, yeah, again, they forgot about a ship in space that's flying over them that they must have passed to some degree, and it's not going after them. So, yeah, that's a shame. Because, yeah, I checked back. Hang on, I think I made a screenshot here. Give me a second. Because that thing is definitely equipped for combat. And they killed they killed policemen of them, so they're probably allowed lethal force.
Is this one?
Where is it? Police ship, PNG. Huh? Why isn't it showing up here? That's not it. Wait. Technical difficulties. Why isn't it's not showing up in my window capture? Well, that's annoying. Give me a sec. That's the notepad. No. That is weird. It won't let me show the picture for some reason, and I don't know why. Can I open it in something else? Give me a sec. Open with, I don't know, it's take paint or something. I don't know. Just something that lets me show it in stupid OBS. Why does paint work? Weird. Anyway, guess we'll use paint. That's fine. That's fine with me. Why am I... Man, I am misclicking so much. There we go. Jesus Christ. It's like I've never streamed before. So yeah, as you can see, we got weapons here everywhere. There's weapons here. We got weapons here. Those little shuttles have weapons to some degree. There's a weapon. And there's probably more around this thing. So definitely equipped for combat. But yeah, it's just not doing anything, which is a shame, if you will. They just forgot about it, like in the... Yeah, I guess like in the Kenobi, yeah. It's out of frame, it doesn't exist. Pretty much. Pretty much. Right. There you go. So yeah, that's definitely annoying. Yeah, Lufen sets course with the hyperdrive, as I said, and in the meantime, we do actually address that Andor got shot, and he tells him that there's some med stuff in the back and in the shelf, so he can treat it. Andor is wondering, hey, what is powering this device? I've flown plenty of these ships, and none of those had hyperdrive. And Luthen just says, well, it's been surprises for all of us today. So basically not explaining why this is a thing. So it's probably just a custom job. Andor makes clear that he hasn't agreed to anything yet except getting his skin saved. And while Andor field dresses his arms, he gets some quote-unquote mad nog. And I was like, oh, is that a thing that exists in the universe? Because I was like, is it medical? Is it just some booze? I've never heard of this before. And then I googled it, and the only reference to Matnock is from this show. And people on Wikipedia just wrote in there, yeah, it's like a healing assistant. It helps you getting healed. And the only reference is the show, so that's just made up. So I can tell you, it could be just some booze. He was making a small joke or something, or it could actually be a thing. It's not Bacta, no Bacta Reno. So yeah, maybe it's medicine, maybe it's just some booze. I don't know. Just interested. I just thought it'd be interesting if that's a thing that exists before, which it apparently didn't. Yeah, Luthen tells Andor that it seems he has only two choices really. One, drop him off somewhere and he can try to escape, or he comes with him and helps with something actually important. And then he turns around, goes back to the ship, and is like, well, or you could try and kill me and take the ship, of course. And yeah, and then Andor asks him, what do you define important? And Luthen tells him that, hey, we want to steal something really important from the Empire. And then Andor points out that he doesn't need any help to steal anything, and immediately Luthen follows up with, well, because you're doing so well on your own, right? Well, it's like being helped here and stuff. Andor opts to take the drop-off, and Luthen asks him, okay, so what then? You do the same as now? They will hang you either way, if it's for 20k credits, 20,000 credits, or a plasma coil. They don't give a shit. They're gonna hang you anyway. And I'm offering you everything you want all at once. And then Andor, of course, asks, hey, what is everything I want at once, if you know so much about me? And it's like, to put a real stick, quote unquote, in the eye of the Empire, and also get paid for it. It's like, oh, okay. He's now one is like, oh, I was wondering who you are. So you're probably like Alliance, Sep, Guerrilla, Partisan Front, one of those. And when asks, it's like, isn't this all the same? Andor says, it's all the same to me. It's pointless. It's all useless. And we don't, because Luthen says, oh, we agree on that. It's all the same. He's like, nah, it's useless. And Luthen asks him, oh, is it better to spit in their food and steal their trinkets? And Andor says, no, it's better to live, eat, sleep, and do whatever you want. And he goes on to say that he fought in Mimban when he was 16, and they only made them fight each other, and he was the only survivor of 50 people deployed there. So the Imperium got them for combat, and all they made them do is let them fight each other. And then Luthen was like calling him out on this bullshit and says, no, you were only there for like 6 months, not 2 years like he said. And you were also deployed as a cook, and the only reason you survived is because you ran away. And I was like, oh, okay. I remember Solo. Is that from Solo? I haven't seen Solo, so I that meant nothing to me. I thought it was just a random fight they made up again. And so I told you I know you. I know everything inside and outside. Wherever he is gonna tell himself or anyone else, he will ultimately find himself dying fighting these bastards. And why not rather give it all at once to something real? But also tells him that he's right about the one thing, that he made them fight each other, their own kind. And he should hate them even more for that. And yeah, he didn't risk his ass for the Star Path unit, he came for him. And when Andor asks him what the offer is, he says it's 5 days, big risk, big danger, a prep team, and a good plan. When it's finished, he gets 200,000 credits. And the plan pretty much is to steal the quarterly payment of a whole Imperial sector. And I guess he agreed, because he goes there next. Yeah, I mean, I like the dialogue. It was fine. I think that's the part of the 2 episodes that I like the most for the rest of the episodes. I don't know, when those two talk to each other, I don't know, they have good dialogue. I like it. I do enjoy it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He gives him a choice to be dropped off or go fight for something real, and he opts to fight for something real, quote unquote. But I guess for now he's more like, ooh, I get 200,000 credits. That sounds pretty good. I'm gonna take that. So yeah, hey, remember Coruscant? We're going to Coruscant now, guys. We're going to Coruscant. Stellan Skarsgård, yeah, he's great. He's awesome. But yeah, because now we start another plot thread, which we have here and gets built up very little over the 2 episodes. And it's very similar to what we have done with Karn, the corporate deputy guy. It feels very similar to that. It's like the same theme. She wants to do something. Everyone else is like, keep it low and shit. But it's basically what we're doing with Coruscant. So yeah. And we're going now to the Imperial Security Bureau. There they talk about the happenings around the galaxy in the people's sectors, and the boss man tells them, "Oh, you're being vague on purpose," and the head dude points that out. It's like, "Oh, I want more info and details later that day," and he asks at some point, "Hey, what are we all doing here in this building? What is the purpose?" And Dedra, who is the I guess the Imperial Security, I guess she's an officer of some kind. I don't recall what they call her, but yeah, we gotta follow her through this little adventure. And she says, "We're here to further security objectives by collecting intelligence, providing useful analysis, and conducting effective covert action, sir." And the bossman says, "Oh, very good. That is 1-to-1 from the books, and also wrong." I was like, okay. And he goes on to say, it's like, security is an illusion, and if you want security, you should call the Navy and call in a bunch of troopers. He says that they are healthcare providers that treat sickness. They locate symptoms and germs, no matter if they arise from within or outside, or have come from the outside. And the longer they wait to identify the disorder, the harder it is to treat the disease. Do you get my meaning? He talks to the other guy. And I'm just like, so yeah, you're doing security. That's what she said. You just said it differently in weird words, right? Unless I'm missing something here. I don't know why he put it that way. Because the book says, we're collecting intelligence and do analysis, and then do effective covert action to get that. And then he says the same thing, but like there's a disease. Huh? Okay. Sounds more and more like a drag race of neat character bits and decent acting. Yeah, that's basically the conclusion. That was me today while I was watching that. It felt a bit like a drag, for sure. The actress said she's the smartest woman surrounded by incompetent men, and yet she literally says, "I don't know what I'm doing." What? The boss man even compliments her that she's doing good work and everything. Why are we going this stance? Why does the actress go this stance? Just fuck off. Fucking dumb. Fucking dumb as shit. So he's just says it in that way. And he then says to the other guy, don't bother writing the memorandum. He will reassign it. And I was really like, so he does that so he can write whatever he wants, I guess. If we go with the bullshit politics we've been dealing as a theme here this whole time. But that doesn't really come up again, so I'm not really sure if that actually means anything. Hang on. Where did my window go? Chat, come back. Chat, I can't see you anymore. Chat, make noise so I can find you. There's my OBS. Okay. Welcome, man, is a super gay subordinate. So yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Noise. That's the spirit. She's also said she's the first woman in Star Wars. Okay. I'm the first German on YouTube. Did you guys know that? Please subscribe. So yeah, but yeah, the guy then gets a report from Ferrix as to what has happened, and Dedra seems to be interested in this and checks something on the tablet. And I was like, ooh, she may be like a rebel spy or something. Maybe she's like, no, there's like, she needs to investigate some more stuff there, as we soon learn. We now arriving in Aldani. Luthen tells Aaron to think of a name he chooses. He should choose for the next 5 days, and he chooses the name Clem. Clem. He also took his knife to have a little shave, so he's not as bearded anymore. Luthen then gives him some blue sky stone as a down payment, saying it celebrates the Rakatan. I don't know, uprising against their invaders. And also some lady arrives, and she seems to be the boss, and he has to talk to her, and they will argue, and Andor should wait in here until they are done talking. And he tells, don't take less than 50k for the stone, but remember, it's always worth more to me, and I want it back after the mission. And then goes outside. We later get to know that actually there's not that much money to go around, so maybe this is why he uses this as a down payment. This is the only reason I can think of right now why he gave it to him. Maybe he's gonna use it in that mission they have soon. I don't know. Right now, it only seems to be some kind of down payment, and it's gonna be a point of drama in the next episode that goes on for like 2 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably more to it, but that's all we get from this. He just is supposed to keep on to it and guard it tight, I guess. So yeah, we get introduced to Val, who is the leader of the team for the mission. She's not happy about plugging in another person 5 months into this. And they seem to have been eating roots and sleep on the floor to make this work, which means like, there's probably not that much cash to go around, maybe. I don't know. Also, security around here seems to have increased, and it takes like a day's walk to get here unnoticed now. And yeah, things don't look as good of a plan as we heard before, because they point out, yeah, the chances are slim, and if we fail, this is a catastrophe, and you've been low one man this whole time, so you better take him. So it's either take him in or call off the mission right now. Yeah, and apparently putting Andor in here will increase them significantly. The thing is, the problem is here, they say it's like, he's like super valuable, he's super special, and he can do all these things. And it's like, I mean, he was like kind of smart-ish with a bunch of things, but he wasn't like super special. What we get through the episodes is that he seems to be very perceptive and know stuff they just don't know anything about. But that's about it. I don't know why he's like that important compared to anyone else, is I guess what I'm trying to get to. It's just like, yeah, okay, I mean, he seems to be pretty capable to handle himself, but it's just lucky that he stumbled across him and that he's so usable. I don't know. I feel like we haven't gotten enough of his, I guess, tool set that would tell us, yeah, he's like the best for the job. So yeah, he tells her to just tell the other ones it was always a part of the plan. If someone acts up and does shenanigans, she needs to be a leader, and if shit's fucked, she has to cancel the mission. She obviously asked that, what if the new guy is the problem? And then Luthen tells her, well, that's the upside of him being rented. He's disposable. So yeah. During all this, we get like a short scene with Andor who's looking at the controls of the ship, probably thinking about just fucking off, because he could just take the helm. But yeah, Vel does agree, and Luthen gets him out, and that's it. So yeah, he's on the mission now. And things are not as rosy as Luthen might have explained it to him. So yeah, we now get a scene with our homie, with our bro, the policeman people, and the deputy, and the chief, Mosk, and the deputy, Karn. They basically get chewed out by one of the IBS guys who's in charge of the sector. And basically, they have to relinquish all weapons, scan dogs, and everything else they have going for their work, and will be transferred and issued all personal items that have been inspected and inventoried by Imperial inspectors. And they have also holo-certify everything. And the chief says, "What does it mean? I had nothing to do with this." And the IBS guy sees, well, yeah, exactly. It took a It took the whole combined ingredients of ineptitude, idiocy, and total disengagement for this disaster to even occur. So they don't put the whole thing on the deputy. It's just this whole thing. And he goes to the deputy and is like, "Oh, you're proud, huh? Don't worry, you will not be replaced. But you have rung the final bell of the corporate independency in this sector, because from now on, the Morlana system is under permanent Imperial authority." I was like, oh, damn. They actually have some consequences for the shit he did. And these are not small consequences. Because now there's going to be Imperial people everywhere, which probably also mean that living on Ferrix is going to be even more miserable from now on. Andor gave Battle a stroke, yeah. Hey, Camille, what's up? Andor's important because he's the main character. Pay attention, Battle. No! I will not. So. And that's already the scene we get with this guy. They're all fired. And Imperials are taking over. So yeah. We'll see in the next episode that they seem to be setting up a base on Ferrix for the Imperials. So there's going to be Imperial stuff going on there. Which means probably not good stuff for them on the planet. Val and Andor start walking towards their base. Andor asks like, oh, who's Luthen? Who, by the way, is gone now. He fucked off. He's going to Coruscant as well. Because he has his own things to do. And she says that we will not talk about him, and having you here was her. And we tell everyone that it was my idea to bring you here, was all planned. And never mention Luthen in front of the others, or it will be a big problemo. Andor points out that she says they will rob a garrison. I was like, how many are there of us? And she says, oh, with you it's 7. He scoffs at the idea that 7 people will take on a garrison. And Andor also asked why is it such a long way? And it's because of all those patrollings, peoples and stuff. So yeah, just a scene with like a bit of tension where you ask some questions and they're off to their merry way. But some TIE fighters doing their rounds and have to hide for a couple of seconds, and then they fuck off. And she's like, that was their daily patrol route. They shouldn't be coming back. So yeah, Andor is getting some basic information about the team that he can get, and we're already back to another scene. So here's the thing: this is gonna be happening throughout the next 2 episodes. This and the next episode, I mean. we are jumping back and forth like crazy. And we spend just a couple of minutes here, go back there, go back there, go back there. I think what helped the first 3 episodes, they did a lot of jumping back and forth as well, but all the parts we jumped to came to this one conclusion pretty clearly. Like we didn't really leave the Ferrix for the most part. We had something with the police people, but those were later on the way to Ferrix. We had the flashbacks that gave us a bit of backstory for Andor, but we stayed pretty close together. While here we go from what's this fucking planet called? Not Dedra, that's the name of the... Come on, I've written it down like a million times. I think I might be going crazy. To the planet where they're on right now. LT... Oh, God damn it. Aldani. Jesus Christ. I've written that name down like 15 times and I just forgot about it. Aldani, Coruscant. And even though those are the only 2 places we are, all the happenings seem to be pretty far away from each other. Because the Dedra thing, the things the things they do, that's like their own thing. Because her whole thing is, oh, they have like the Starship unit. You remember that one that they left there? Oh, this is one that has been stolen on Steelsguard or whatever that name was, and that was like our jurisdiction. And she's like kind of trying to figure out what's been going on. Like her whole thing is, oh, there were all these random things that have been stolen everywhere across the sectors, and it's kind of like a pattern, but it's also pretty random. And she seems to feel like there's gonna be like some rebellion gonna happen. Like they're gonna use all these resources to do some shenanigans to some degree. That's like the whole thing that happens here. So while it's not, oh, this happened and we don't care about this happening, she is doing a same-ish thing like Cyril or Kern or whatever you want to call him, what do you prefer, the deputy guy, where she has to fight against the other people and take it into her own hands to figure out what's going on. Because the thing is, she has some kind of data to back that up a little bit, but for the most part, the boss man is like, well, it's all pretty random still, so if you have some more factual data, please come back with us. And the other ones are just like, hey, I have your restriction here now. And that other sector leader is like, nah, fuck off. So, yeah. So it feels like we're telling a whole different story with her right now. See, Hyperbolic. We have like this whole other thing happening with her that has like nothing really to do with what we're doing on the Aldani planet right now. Which doesn't need to be a problem, but we just cut here like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times for a total runtime of like 6 minutes. Where she just goes back and forth with her assistant guy. We're like, oh, this and this and this and this. And then it's like, hey, can I get this information? And they're like, no. So, yeah, I don't know. That's it feels very disconnected right now. If that makes sense. I think she also recognized the box Andor stole was from her sector, so there might be a sense of personal honor. She wants to catch who's responsible for stealing out from under her. Yeah, I can see that as well. Absolutely. But yeah, basically in this scene, she just checks for the Ferrix incident and wonder about the Starpath unit, and seems the one was stolen from her jurisdiction. And now she wants information from the other sector guy. I think Blevin is his name. Then we get a short scene where Luthen made his way to Coruscant and puts on like a disguise because he lives a whole different life in Coruscant under the guise of like he has like like a gallery or something where he sells like antiques and stuff and plays like a whole different character basically. Now that we this on, we go back to Aldhani. Like, do you see what I mean? We go back, forth. It's fucking nuts, dude. We just go all over the place. Val and Andor have a talk as he wonders where this place is. And basically, it had like a fuck ton of Aldhani colonies for centuries. And the Imperium came here and basically fucked it all up in like a decade. And this place is perfect for distribution. Like, it's far enough to not be noticed immediately, but it's also close enough to get to places. She calls it a perfect place for distribution if you want to take over the galaxy or something like that. And again, I have to stress, like the acting of these scenes is it's fine. Like, I enjoy the performances. But we're doing a lot and also not a lot, if you know what I mean. Like, it almost gives me Rings of Power vibes in the terms we try to progress the story, where we do too much at once and then basically don't go forward a lot for the most part. Difference being the acting here is way better. Back to the IBS. Dedra gets her request denied by the other guy, and she kicks it up the ladder. And we also get to learn that she has been here only for a year. And back to Aldhani. Val and Andor have the base. One of the guards has fallen asleep and gets woken up by a teammate, tells him that while you were asleep, everyone has been killed because you fucked up, just as a lesson. And then they all wonder who the new guy is and wait for them to arrive. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, this is where you can see this, the blaster rifle that... So I know how you, like, design future weapons to familiar stuff. But this just looks like a fucking AK-47. This just looks like an AK. Like, am I wrong? This just straight up looks like an AK. I don't even think it looks futuristic or anything. It's just an AK. It was so weird to see. I was like, wait a minute, that's not a blaster or a laser rifle. That's just an AK. It even has like the same magazine. It's so odd. I mean, it's not impossible they would have had the same design. They would have the same design here, but man. Feels a bit weird to see an AK in Star Wars, you know what I mean? Like, this could be a Predator movie. We're just waiting for the Predator to arrive. I don't know. Considering all the other weapons we see in this, like, you can see some parts of weapons that exist in real life, but they're mostly heavily edited, you know, and they look very different. This just looks straight up like an AK. It's just interesting. Could have used some work, I guess. That's just kind of weird, champ. Ballistic rounds, but it would look like an AK. That's actually a good point. Oh yeah, the peeps get introduced to Clem. Most of them are sussy-wussy about it. Tells him, he fills in critical redundancy in all spaces. And also, they always knew they're short a person and that they need him to settle him in quick-a-rooney. Taramyn wants to talk, but gets shut down. He's like, I'll talk to you. And she's like, no, I'm the boss. And then she makes Cinta look at his arm. Namek is the only one like, hey, good to have you. We could use the help. Yeah, basically, introduction, we get like a little glimpse of people's characters, but everyone is kind of like, why is this guy here? And why didn't we know about him up until now? Yeah, just starting the whole tension, I guess. We then see that Karn made his way back home. He goes to his mother, where I guess he's gonna stay for now. Gets slapped in the face, and then instantly gets a hug because she's happy to see him. Because my thought was, I guess because of the fear she had that when she heard about his failed mission and all that stuff, and Glad is alive. But seems like they just don't like each other very much. It's really weird. But that's all we get for now. It's just a 2-minute long scene where he walks towards the thing and goes inside. Yeah. He's just staying now there. And back to Aldani. Clem's wound gets cleaned. Cinta says sorry in advance while cleaning it because they want to be careful with the pain meds they have. Don't want to spend too much of them. And we see the Terraman and 2 of the other guys, Skeen and Namek, I think, is it. Oh, can we trust him? She says, yeah, I trust him. Obviously, she has no idea if he's even committed to anything because he just got piled in there and she didn't even know about it, but she has to play along. Just adding more to the tension. And DBZ confirmed. DBZ. Yeah. And back to Coruscant. We see that Luthen runs some sort of gallery with the senator. You might notice that there's not a lot to say because this is like all set up and it goes very slowly. So yeah, we just gotta strut along. This is where we see where he runs this art gallery or whatever it is. Then we see a senator coming in, Mon Mothma. I think that's what I've written down. I hope I didn't misspell that or something. Luthen and his assistants here mentioned that he has a new driver, and it's like, oh, why is that a thing? So they come in, they have all those pleasantries, and I need to get a gift for the husband, blah, 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 blah. The assistant of Luthen distracts the driver. It's like, here, go have a look, so I'm going to tell you about these things. And they go to the back, it's like, here, have a look at this thing. And then they go to the back and they drop their disguises. And we learn that she's an implant. And is like a senator that helps with the rebellion. And she helps them fund stuff. And she goes to say, it's like, oh, money is there. That's not a problem. The problem is moving it around. It's getting harder and harder to move the money because they're watching closely. And but she tells them that, oh, I might have someone that can help us with the money stuff. And Lou says, no, we need more funding. Not even another guy we have to worry about. Can't involve him in the inner circle here. That's too dangerous. And she said, well, I thought this through, and I'm the one most at risk. Like, I'm the first of all. I'm in the middle of all these senators and everything. And if they figure out what I've been doing, they're going to fuck me up. So they slowly make their way back to the front desk, put on their disguises pretty much. And like Luthen says in disguise, something is like, oh, if you can take this gift as a loan, and if you want to rethink your decision, I'm sure you're going to bring it back or take it back or something. Basically saying she'd probably rethink her idea of bringing that random other guy in as help because that's probably too dangerous. Yeah, we see that there's more implants happening here. So here's the thing, we're introduced to her, and we get a bunch of scenes with her as well. And it's all just, I feel like the scenes we have with her are just all fucking nonsense to the story right now. Because it's basically just family drama. And I don't know why we have this here right now. It's not that she's getting pressured by anyone, that she's getting figured out or something. For some reason, we put in her family dramas like, oh, my daughter thinks I'm just doing this for myself. And oh, my husband is doing not so much charitable work. He's more like doing his thing. But I'm charitable and he doesn't care about charity. And then he invites these people that I don't like, that shut down this lane, that provides food for people, and they're probably gonna starve now. And well, this can be a very interesting thing in itself. It has fucking nothing to do with anything we're doing right now. I thought we are gonna get something where she's slowly started, because she says like the pressure is bigger now, the pressure is up there. She's gonna get figured out soon or something, but no, it's just random family drama where they don't really get along, even though they're married and shit. Which obviously you can't get the people married don't necessarily all get along. I get it, but you know it feels out of place here. Just for Return of the Jedi, an important character, and I hope the stuff we learn in the scene informs the choice she makes later on. Yeah, but I mean, all we learn from her is that she funds the rebellion and also does charitable work with her foundations and stuff. That's basically all we learn from her. And she's in direct contact with Luthenheimer. Yeah. Back to Aldani. Because now that we've seen everyone else being suspicious, we need another character that needs to be suspicious, because we also have an insert in the garrison. We have a lieutenant. We just realized I never wrote the name down of. Give me 1 second. Andor. Episode 4 cast. I completely forgot to write his name. No, not Easter eggs. Fuck off. I wanted just a cast. IMDb or something. Maybe someone in chat remembers the name of the lieutenant man. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters that much. So yeah, their contact comes out. Lieutenant, who is also annoyed that there's a new person. He's like, why haven't I been informed? I should have been consulted. Blah 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 blah. And we're short on resources anyway. We had comms, and you need to leave your belt and stuff. And yeah, he's basically just suspicious, and there's more tension between the people because they don't trust him. That's it. There's nothing else to add, I'm afraid. Mon Mothma's... Oh, yeah. We get the first family drama. Like, Mothma's husband has invited guests that she forgot about. And those guests are people who seem to be politically against her. And as I said like a couple of minutes ago, cut off some lanes that brought food to people. And now they're probably starving. And, maybe we can laugh at that at our third course. And she's obviously not happy about this, but those are all old friends of the husband, apparently, who are clearly not as invested in those starving people as well as the husband. He's like, does everyone need to be sad and boring? Yeah. There we go. That's basically the scene. Ben Bay's dab on the starving poor. I don't remember because I'm not watching the show. I feel like that's a lot of people. And snore. And back to Aldani, because now we get to learn the plan of the team. So we get to know that the Aldani Garrison is a depot for supplies, weapons, and payrolls for the entire sector. There are sentry defenses and observation towers for protection. The runaway descends underground all the way to a flight deck of a single Max 7 Rono freighter. They ask Clem if he can fly it, and he says, I mean, yeah, it's not really flying because it's like a boxed freighter, but sure, I can pilot it. They load up the plan is to go down there, load up the payrolls into the Rono, and then escape. And Andor is like, escaping in one of those freighters, it's like slow shit. Like, it's gonna be impossible. It's like basically a suicide mission. Like, have you seen this? Those are TIE fighters. They will onto us in minutes. And there's like, it's 9 minutes. We have timed it out. And when pointing out that it is a suicide mission, Val says that, yeah, it is. But that's why they only have a 40-man regiment in the whole garrison. Because no one is stupid enough to try it except them. And, yeah. That's basically, and so they go in as troopers and get out there as soon as they can. Furthermore, Gorn is his name. I've written it down here. I just didn't write it down the first time because I'm stupid. Lieutenant Gorn tells them that since forever people can remember on this planet, every 3 years there's a celestial event that forms like a curtain pulled across the sky that looks like an eye at some point. And Namek, who we learn is very detail focused, says that it isn't really a meteor shower, but a reoccurring brand of crystallized noctilucent microdensities. Basically billions of crystals that are very heavy but unstable. And as the planet passes through like the belt of that thing, they swarm the atmosphere, heat up, and explode. And while it might be a thing of beauty from the ground, in the sky it is chaos. So they calculate an escape trajectory. They calculated an escape trajectory that gets them out before the eye closes, and this happens in 3 days' time from now, every 3 years. And if they beat the clock on this one, they're in and out before the Imperial people already know what happened. So yeah, that's their plan. Not a fan of them being like, oh yeah, they don't have enough security because they don't think anything would happen. Like, bro, you just told me they have the quarterly payroll for the whole sector in this place. Fuck off. So what's interesting is, they did the same thing in Kenobi, right? Where they don't have the shield. I think this was written before Kenobi. So Kenobi might have stolen that from this, which is a weird thing to steal. So yeah, no, if you have very important resources in here, weapons, payrolls, and everything, and it's like 50-man garrison, it's like, no, I don't believe you. I do not believe you. That's some dog shit, bruh. I mean, having people in offices would be like, nah, whatever. When they do like the little city things, I can see how that might be a thing that happens. But if you have like this kind of thing, here's the thing: governments really like their money, so they will secure that shit hard. So, yeah, that shit should be guarded much more. Much more. So yeah, that's their plan. Now we go back to the IBS. We get the boss man to talk to the two people. To talk about, like, yeah, what is info from Ferrix, because there's something on there that was under my jurisdiction. Jesus Christ, I got the burpins. But it seems like all she has to offer is 3 files that could indicate a pattern with the same methods, and basically just a gut feeling that something might be up. But ultimately, the boss says, well, come back when you have more factual evidence, and we talk about it again. But as of now, we can only think that this might have been a robbery gone awry. So, don't really have a leg to stand on. Which, you know what? Fair enough from the boss. It's like, yeah, I mean, you got not a lot of things that indicate this, so I don't think you need these crucial informations right now. Then tells the other lieutenant to go and talks to her and is like, hey, you should focus on more important things. And by the way, he has 6 sectors to worry about, you too, and I have his reports on my desk and not yours, so you might want to work on this. But then, he's just not dickish boss guy. He makes clear, it's like, hey, I'm impressed with your other work, though. Man, you've been doing very well with this. Like, it's far above the quota of everyone else, and I will send more work like this your way, because you're very good at this work. And I was like, oh, that's a nice little touch. He's not just douchebag boss man. He acknowledges the good work his people do. I like that. He compliments her for good work. Good shit. He's not just dickish fucktard guy. So yeah, good stuff. That I like seeing that. See, these are like the touches that I mean in the show, where they ask solid questions. Example, a little back when they talk about their plan, it's like, hey, you want to escape in a freighter? This thing is slow as shit, and they have TIE fighters. What are we gonna do? It's like, oh yeah, we have 9 minutes, and we have to get this specific time frame that we calculated, which hopefully works. So at least they have some kind of thought put into these kind of things. So yeah, enjoy these kind of things. Some people complain about this. That he complimented her about her good work after telling her she should get her reports fixed. What did they complain about? I'm curious now. Yeah, and gives her a heads up about more work coming your way instead of just throwing the work at her unannounced. Yeah. Because he appreciates the work she's done with the other things. She's doing very good work with this. So of course he's gonna give her more work. Like this. Because she's clearly the most the best one for the job. A whammon doesn't need a man's approval. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. But yeah, that's basically what this is. Then Andor gets more info, including a detailed map of the garrison from the lieutenant guy, I assume, and an Aldani phrase book that he needs to learn until the morning. And Andor's like, yeah, you better show us you can keep your weight, bitch. And that's the episode. And that's episode 4. Seems like a decent boss. I'd work for him. Yeah, he seems alright. Until the whammon needs to open a pickle jar. Oh, misogyny. Oh, yeah. She gave him evidence, so he should believe her now. Well, she says herself, like, oh, I have 3 reports that could indicate a pattern. And on top of that, the only other thing she says is, oh yeah, and also a gut feeling that this might be a collection job for rebellion stuff or something. I would need to go back and listen to the dialogue again. But she specifically uses the word, oh, this could indicate a pattern. So it's a little bit of evidence, but not a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I think you could reasonably say that he's not impressed with that little evidence, and we don't even know how big this evidence is. It's like some small shit that has been stolen. So yeah, there you go. That's episode 4. Click. Zippity-papa, shoo-biddy-biddy-bee-da-boo. So what you guys up to this Saturday, huh? While I get the other footage going. What you doing? You guys gonna go watch the AFIPS, huh? Gonna watch the AFIPS that's going live after this? Don't ask me what it's about. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's a recorded one. But she didn't. That was his point. If she comes back to him with concrete evidence, he said he would look into it more seriously, so he didn't shut the door on the possibility. Exactly. Bottling beer. Nice. Nothing much. My day's tomorrow, though. Ah. Oh, B-Day. Oh, cool. Hope you have something neato planned. Maybe get some drinks with the homies or something. Or just family stuff. Or both. I don't know. But I hope it's gonna be good. I'll probably be playing more Silent Hill tomorrow. Going to the zoo? Oh, neato. Losing at Street Fighter 6. Listen to it while work. Coffee and Minecraft. Oh, that sounds chill. That sounds really chill. Episode 5. I think my notes for episode 5 are even shorter. Because I think episode 5 is my least favorite of the whole bunch so far. But we'll get through this together. Cyberpunk, time to decorate for Halloween and Phasmophobia. Ooh. I haven't played Phasmophobia in a while. That was quite the experience, that game. I don't actually know what I'm gonna do with my night. Maybe I'll play some VR-tisms. So I have Bone Labs to play. Maybe I'll do more Silent Hill later. Or maybe I'll just watch the EFAP that's going on. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Bone Lab came out. That's been fun to play. But I didn't have a lot of time to actually play it because of all the sludge. So yeah, that's the thing. New after Phasmo was very spoopy. Ooh. Just a listening, is Andor detoxing the other sludge? Maybe a little bit, but it's very mid. Hence the title. I don't hate it, I guess. Because the dialogue is fine, but it's still pretty sludgy. Like I think so far the only upside we have is that the dialogue is pretty good. But these 2 episodes, I liked the first three episodes much better. These ones are a bit dragging. But yeah, let's jump into episode 5. What are we starting with? Oh yeah, Karn is fired. He's just chilling at his mom's place in the guest room, I guess. And doesn't seem to be happy with what has happened. He doesn't really know what to do. So yeah, he chills here, and they have some back and forth that they haven't been seeing each other a lot. It's like, you didn't invite me. And then he says, well, I had a spare room. You could have come over whenever you want. And she says that, well, yeah, no invitation. An open invitation is like no invitation at all. And she didn't visit, and she wasn't really invited. And she figures out that he doesn't have a single prospect after his work with the corpus is donezo, and he says that, oh, it's fine, I'll be figuring it out. And it's like, you know what, I'm gonna call an Uncle Harlow to get you a job or something. He knows what's going on. And he's not very happy about this, so yeah. That's basically all we get with Karn in these 2 episodes. He's just kind of chilling, and they're talking about things that they kind of just bicker at each other, and she tries to get him a job with his uncle that he doesn't actually want. Is he holding mithril? I hope not. Andor wakes up and notices that his stuff is gone, and sees that Skeen has it, and Skeen's like, hey, don't you worry. Val asked me to check this stuff out, I guess for maintenance or whatever. And he points out that, well, yeah, you haven't come out with a whole lot. It's clear that wherever you came from, you left in a hurry, considering you also have a wound on your arm, you know. he also sees that he has a corpo weapon and wonders, hey, who belonged that to? And Andor just says that, well, he didn't give me a name. It's like, oh. Can't having that post-firing depression. Yeah, for sure. A new inventive idea, Disney, for Star Wars cereal. Yeah. Also, really, just sound like a normal brand as well. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah. When asked about the arm, he says that the arm is going to be fine. And Skeen also noticed that he knew what his tattoo is, and Andor says like, yeah, it means great head. And the other tune you have is by the hand, which apparently means that he was in some kind of youth center of the Imperium. And Andor also tells him that he was in Sipo for 3 years. And it's like, yeah, they build a lot of cages and stuff, and Imperial, it's bad. So, yeah, it seems like Skeen is only here for revenge for now, as he says. That's good enough for me now. And Andor says, well, working with other people is never easy. And always the weakest point breaks, and tells Andor they shouldn't be worried about the kids. Namek is green, but fully believes in the cause, and Cinter is super tough, maybe even the toughest one here. He then asks about the lieutenant, and, well, hey, he could lead us straight into a trap to get us all busted. And he says, nah, without him there wouldn't even be this plan. And if he would have stopped us by now, because he's been doing this for months. But maybe you are the one to do that. Ooh. And then he just says that he's here to win and walk away. So yeah, they had a little convo. There's tension here. Ooh. Tension. Oogly boogly boogly. Hey, we get more Mothma home drama. Charles says, I want to go with you. I thought Dad's gonna take me. And she's like, no, we have to drive her. This is not up for discussion. And Child says, wow, it's always about her or something. And I don't care. Let's go to the next scene, because this doesn't mean shit for the episode as far as I can tell. Maybe later in the show, but Jesus Christ, I don't give a toss about their family issues. Not at all. I don't know why this is in here right now. I really don't. Maybe it gets recontextualized, but right now I'm just like, get this away from me. I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna see it. It's not interesting. It really isn't. So now we go back to Andor, and Namek gives Andor some weird milk that is gross but nutritious apparently. And then they talk about, hey, Namek is like super into the cause, and he sees oppression everywhere, and he's even writing a manifesto. I was like, okay. And when Clem, or Andor, is asked, oh, what are your beliefs? Says, well, I know what I'm up against, and that's everything I need to so far. And now it's like, ooh, you're the perfect guy for a perfect reading audience. And he starts explaining his ideas and blah, 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 blah. And then he gets interrupted that Andor can do more work on your stuff. He says something about the camera, or the tracker he has, and the book, and they're similar, and blah. I don't know. It's all just there. So like, look, he's super invested. He wrote a manifesto and is like super into the thing. Okay. So he gets brought over to the little hut where they talk about how they get the ship out of the hangar, and they need to know the information on weight. And they're like, do you know how to calculate the weight thingy? And he's like, what do you mean? Is this a test? Like, do you not know this? And they're like, just answer the question. He's like, you really don't know you really don't know how to figure out the ship's weight, do you? And he basically tells them, there's just a scale you can read next to this little lever. Like, it says you the weight right there. Like, what would have you done without me here? Which is a very good question. It's like, I would have figured it out, I guess. It's like, Jesus. And they were wondering, oh, why wasn't that in the manual? And he's like, it's a custom job. It's probably, which I'm confused why he didn't know, he didn't know that it's a custom job. That confused me a little bit. So yeah, that's how they know. And he basically says, well, if my ass is on the line, I'm gonna pilot this thing, gonna get this out of the hangar, because if it's my ass on the line, I'm gonna be the one getting this shit out of there. Which they end up agreeing to. Powdered bantha milk. So yeah, one hole in their plan is they didn't actually know the weight of the ship they were flying, which apparently was crucial to their calculation of getting out of there and getting this thing out, which is okay. Kind of nuts, to be honest. But yeah, their plan is not as good as Luthen might have told us that it is. Man, I don't have a lot of notes for this episode. We're just going a lot of back and forth here. So yeah, now that this is agreed upon, we actually go to Ferrix. No, wait, we don't go to Ferrix yet. Because Andor is getting instructed by the plan. It's like, this is the entrance, this is where we go. And basically it's him, oh, you're soldier man, blah, blah, blah. You're from here and there. And you have to stand like this, basically. Then we get a scene with Gorn and some Imperial things that he wants them to clean some shit up because this Imperial engineer guy is coming over, I think. Which I still don't know. He's probably going to be a problem for the test because they put a lot of emphasis of this guy that he's coming around. So he's probably going to be some kind of problem for the plan, I assume. Yeah. Then we get a short scene in Ferrix where we get to see, hey, build us an Imperial outpost in this building, get it done. And this one guy's like, can I have the title of prefecture? I know it doesn't come with a pay raise, but it just sounds nice. And he's like, do whatever you want, just want this thing going. And it's like, okay. Seems also kind of pointless, unless just they wanted us to know that the Imperials are now on Ferrix doing their thing. On Aldhani, they test out a formation run. You're like, you have to walk like this, always look at the commanding officer, blah, 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 do this and this and this and this. And Andor points out, hey, Skeen and the other guy, you should switch sides. And he's like, well, maybe you should shut the fuck up because you just got here and don't know what the fucking plan is. But then Val's like, why would you change that? And it's like, well, you want the gun to be on the outside, not the inside. So if you switch places, that makes sense because the Skeen is left-handed. And then he gets asked like, hey, what about all the other ones? And you can basically tell which hand the people prefer, and even that one of them prefers the right hand but shoots with left. Where it's just like, oh, he's very perceptive. Okay, that's good to know. So he knew all of this. Just putting something on his tool belt, I guess. It's going to be important. I guess. I don't know. It's in here. They then get surprised by a TIE fighter who flies very low above their heads because that guy is a prick, I guess. And they have to hide all their weapons and stuff. At the Garrison, they talk about how this whole place is gonna get, I don't know, moved around. Like some Imperial airbase should be moved here, and everything will be teared down, like all the mountains and stuff. And then the other guy is being racist against the population. He's like, ugh, can you imagine if there were thousands here? And he's like, yeah, I can. Like, he's just randomly racist in this episode against the Aldani because he doesn't like them. I don't know. That's the only time we see him in this episode. Feels another pretty pointless scene, I guess. I legit don't know what this is supposed to be here for. It's just like, hey, look how bad this guy is, and Gord is like, oh, that's kind of weird, champ, because I'm not evil. I swear, I'm not evil. To be fair, racism is pretty cool. No, Solid, don't say it. Then we just see that Andor's trained some more with like the local speak, and then he gets annoyed that Skeen moves the stuff without asking, and it's like, ooh, more tension, oh my god. So yeah, they're just doing more tension between the two, and we see him move around the his little blue sky amulet that he got from Luthen. Now we go back to the IBS, I think. Yes. Where we see that Daedra and the assistant's doing work, and she's like kind of second guessing herself. It's like, oh man, he might be right. Like, it's all pretty random. And her assistant says, well, you don't believe that yourself. She says, well, it's spread out, and says that if she was them, that's how I would do it. Don't climb the same fence twice. Just spread it out over the things. The assassin says it's so random that it can't be random. Which is like, what? How do you measure that? That's a weird thing to say. So yeah, basically they reinforce their beliefs here a little bit and then go back to work. That's the whole scene. She second guessed herself for like two seconds, but then the guy's like, don't do that. It's like, oh, okay. And back to work. Weird. Now we go back to Aldani again. So we're going back and forth here like crazy. They basically just share some drinks and food, say, hey, for the rebellion or something. And then they make their way to the mission because it takes a day. And they burn down their camp, basically. So there's no evidence, or not a lot of evidence, because there's still base stuff. Yeah. Karn and Mother talk, and she has talked to the uncle, and Karn isn't thrilled. That's basically all the scene is. That I don't have anything to say about this. They just talk about how she called him, and he could hear what she was saying, but not what the uncle was saying, implying that the uncle is probably like shit-talking him because he's a failure, or thinks he's a failure, or whatever. I don't know. On the way to the mission, we see Val and Andor talk to each other, and he's like, hey, what about the lieutenant? Like, everyone else seems to know. Why is he on our side? And she fills him in. It's like, oh, he fell in love with a local woman, lost the woman, and then lost the taste for the Empire, and this is how he joined. Which was the short version. Which she also told verbatim, like I just did. That's his reasoning. So I'm guessing he fell in love with the woman, and then they had to do something to her, kill them, whatever they did here on the planet, imprison them, migrate them. They might have said that here, but I'm not sure. So yeah, he doesn't like yeah, that's all we get for him. Then we see the lieutenant talk to some people in the garrison, tells them, hey, this Imperial engineer's coming around. This wall is still not painted. Maybe having you paint them in the night tomorrow, when the eye comes out, will make my point more clearly. Then one soldier's like, can I talk plainly? And he's like, yeah, talk plainly and quickly. And said, oh, it might be a crushing to morale if you won't let them see the eye up there, and if there would be more than just elemental stuff down here. And they told him, fine, have it done by the day after tomorrow. And that's the scene. And I guess this just shows that he is making sure that there's really only essential stuff down here when they do the thing, I think. So yeah, now we know for sure there's only going to be essential stuff down here. And then we get the big drama of the episode. What? Because on the way to the Garrison, Skeen takes the necklace off of Andor by force, even holds a knife to his throat. And then we're just like, whoa, what the fuck, Skeen? What is your problem? And he's like, I knew it, he's been hiding this. Like, he didn't tell us where he's from, what he's doing, what his beliefs are. And look at this. This is like a sky crystal. This is like, why would you bring a 30,000 credits worth stone to a robbery? Like, who brings a treasure to a robbery? And he's like really fucked off. And Val's like, what the fuck are you doing? We don't have time for this bullshit. If you have a problem, come to me. And he's like, well, here I am. I hold off on the questions and I reached my limit. I was like, well, okay. Why are you seem pretty chill for the most part, so I don't know what the fuck your problem now is. And then Namek is like, oh, look out, there's a ship coming around. And even Andor is like, well, you know who I am, and you know I'm gonna kill you for this. And the Timar is like, hey, don't make me shoot you. He's like, hey, I just want what's mine. So yeah, big tension right before the mission, or right before they continue their mission. So yeah, he I like the point where Val's like gets some kind of control and says, well, get your shit, you can talk and kill each other later. It's like, yeah, it's fair. And then when they're about to go, Climate was like, hey, I'm being paid and I'm here for the money. That's it. If you guys can't stand that, you want me out, then I'll wish you luck and I fuck off. But don't use me as excuse if you want out. And when asked by the people, like, do you think we're scared? And it's like, I know you're scared. And also says that he himself is afraid too, but there's a difference between being scared and losing your nerve. And the reason he's been pointing this out right now is because he doesn't want to look over his shoulder while going in there. And yeah, they ask, well, did you know about this? Yeah, I knew about this. But that's just, it was either between that, getting him with pain, or calling the whole thing off. And then they just go further. I guess that's needed to little wake up call for the people. It's like, get your shit together, basically. Yeah, whatever. Again, delivery of the lines, everything's pretty good, but I don't know why we have this right here, right now. I don't know why he's so fucking pissed, like this guy, about him having this necklace and being like, you didn't tell us anything about them. It's like, yeah, so what? He seems to be pretty useful so far, so calm down. Yeah. Oh yeah, we get another Mothma scene. Hooray. And that's legit just them in a car. They talk about, hey, did you enjoy the party and stuff? And he's like, yeah, you were talking to this guy. And the guy's like, hey, you didn't tell me about this new foundation you opened up. And he's like, oh, I didn't think you found it interesting. He's like, why'd you think that? Oh, because it's charitable. And he's like, okay. And then he tells the driver to take the expressway home. And that's it. That's it. He never saw it before. Oh yeah, he never saw the necklace he has. At least they didn't show us he saw it. He just says, he was hiding it from us. I was like, okay, I guess so. And they take the expressway to home. I thought they might be get intercepted and it's a trap, but no, that's all we get. Maybe next episode there's something, but nah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no idea what to make of this Mothma bullshit. Seems completely out of place. The team arrives at the Garrison, and they see the thingy. Andorogus? Andorogus? Oh no, Andor is sus. They arrive. Then we see Khan, who looks at Andor's picture again from the search the last couple of episodes. The lieutenant is checking for the signal and sees them. The signal just being a big old fire torch on a stick on the top of the mountain, which, I don't know, probably not the best way for this signal. Seems a bit too risky. You know, that seems like you can see that from far away, especially in the dark. So, yeah, probably not the best thing to do. Then Val tells Skeen to talk to Clem/Andor, and he's been told to tell Andor about how the Imperials have killed his brother and flooded his tree farm that had centuries worth of trees. And then he says, this is as close of an apology you would get from me, and Andor accepts, and I don't understand. I mean, this lets him know why he's here for the cause, but that's not even close to an apology. And I don't know why Andor would say, yeah, I accept that, that's close enough. I was like, what? That was so fucking weird. I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. I like when she says that's enough, that he continues to wave the fire. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, that's enough. Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean now? Okay. So yeah, he's angry at the Imperials because they killed his brother. I mean, yeah, that's fair enough, I guess, but it has nothing to do with your apology, so I don't know what that's about. We then learn that Terramin is in charge from here on out completely, because Val has to do other jobs, and she won't be here. Andor asks if he understands, and he says, well, you won't have a problem with me. Then we see Luthen again in Coruscant, because he's checking the comms if there's a message from Val, I guess, but there won't be any. And he thinks that he might have wanted this whole thing too much and was careless by putting Andor into this mission. And his assistant tells him that, well, you can't do anything about this just now. You have to wait, and this plan would have never been perfect, but that's the price you got to pay for this. And yeah, you just have to wait, and it could be all over by this time tomorrow. And then he says, or it could just be the beginning. And that's the end of this episode. That was fast, huh? Didn't feel fast when I watched it. So yeah, this is like this weird character drama we're having here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of bored, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of bored at some point. It's like, okay, why are we doing this? Okay, fine. Why is Mothma scenes in here? I don't give a shit. Yeah, okay, she's getting pressured by some of the other ones. Maybe that is important later, but right now I don't care. He's very perceptive. Andor is very perceptive. It's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Why is Skeen so angry all of a sudden? Why is he endangering the whole plan that they all have been waiting to do so this whole time? Yeah. So yeah, the show kind of lost me a bit. especially in these two episodes. Doesn't feel not as engaging. What am I looking for? It doesn't feel as connected, if you will, if that makes any sense. It's just like, we're doing this now, we're doing this. Not like in the first 3 episodes. It kind of all went pretty nicely together. It's not like they were amazing or anything, but it felt much less disjointed. Because what we have here now is basically the Garrison mission, and then all the other random stuff around it that's been happening. The Dedra thingy where she does her thing. The Karn stuff that has just random scenes with his mother where he's just like post-firing depression, as Swall put it, which I think is a good comparison, a good way to put it. Easy for me to say. That's just very short, and we didn't really need that much. I think one scene would have been enough. Luthen doing his thing, having the one conversation with Mothma. I think the one conversation would have been fine, so we maybe had like a little inkling of, so this is how we get funded. Okay, that's good to know. And then you could have done something with the Mothma family, but not this weird family drama stuff where it's like, you not care about charity. It's like, okay, how interesting. Yeah, Andor just got introduced really late into the mission, and they know virtually nothing about him compared to everyone else. That's probably why Skeen finds him sus. I mean, yeah, I get why they find him suspicious, and they're suspicious in general because they weren't told about it. Obviously, they don't know she wasn't told about this. But like right on the path to the mission, you're threatening to fucking kill the guy somehow? I don't know. Doesn't seem very smart. Yeah. As I said, I don't completely hate it because I think the dialogue is pretty enjoyable to listen to for some parts. But man, we need to dial it up in the next episode. We need something to happen again. And I don't necessarily mean like, we need another action scene, which we will get because we have the whole Garrison thing coming up. But it's just, man, this kind of sludge it. It's okay, let the hate flow. I hate plenty of stuff. I just like to point out that the acting in this one is actually pretty good. I enjoyed the acting and the actors. Some of the way it just feels like they talk to each other and not read lines to each other, which Rings of Power doesn't really have that much. But yeah, it's you know. Have you watched Sweet Home? If you want to freak yourself out around Halloween and don't mind Korean Netflix shows, then give it a recommendation. I see. Yeah, I don't know. It's no, like at this point in time, like we're at episode 5. This is when in Rings of Power we got some things that started to happen where you could talk about. It's like, that's bullshit, that's shit. But this is just like those last 2 episodes were nothing burger. It was a pretty nothing burger. So yeah, there you go. Those are my impressions of these episodes. Yeah, you gonna be in EFAB today, Mootle? No. I'm pretty sure this episode you're gonna see is a premiere, if I'm not mistaken, because I think Mutually is busy. So I don't even know what that's one about. They recorded that, and I was not in there. I know I haven't been in EFAB like for 5 weeks. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But you can all see me here, and that's nice too. Have you watched? Oh wait, I already. Did you see the Mario movie trailer? I did. It looked visually very cool. Looks pretty neat. Obviously, the voice was kind of off-putting, but we'll see how it goes. I guess I'm not like hyped for it, but it looks neat visually. Might be a fun one. but it's not like I'm not like waiting for it or anything. It's fine. It looks fine. What? See how you would not enjoy this as much. Yeah, that could be. That could be. Because I've just been watching the sludge and then I was like, I'm gonna skip out on Hot D. And it's like the best show going right now. And I'm like, way, damn it. I might watch it after all the sludge is done. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. I don't think I've seen any super chats coming in or memberheimers. So if you got any questions, throw them here. And after that, I'm gonna head out of here. How much do I have to pay you for Hot D? Wait a minute. You just want my Hot D. That's redonkulous. Very, very rude. $50. 2 episodes left in Hot D season 1. Wait for Molo to ask him if it's safe to watch. He already told me to watch it. But that was already like 4 or 5 episodes in. And I was like, I don't really have the time to watch another episode. So there you go. My bad. That wasn't a reminder that you have to give me money, James. Thank you, though. Thank you. Thanks. Shh. If you want me to end the stream, I'm gonna need some cash. Dark metal Phil. If I don't have 150 tips in like 30 minutes, I'm gonna stop the stream, guys. I don't know if that's how he sounds like. I don't know. It's good. Metals Forge, TM. More like T Flames. No, we must tip. Oh, man. Donate more. But yeah. Anyway, what do you want me to do? End the stream? What am I supposed to do? Die? Out of FIFA buddies, who would you have voiced what character in the Mario movie? I mean, Fringy has to be Luigi just because of the green. Fringy needs to be Luigi. I think that's just has to happen. I think Rags as Toad would be funny. Mauler as Bowser? Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Who do Mario? Oh, right, Rags as Peach. Oh, of course. That makes much more sense. If Mootle ends the stream, he dies. We have to keep the super chats rolling or else Mootle dies. Yeah, I'm holding on to a thread here, guys. If you want more forges, you better get that cash rolling. Who would be Mario then? J Longboat as Mario? That's actually hilarious. Or Shad as Mario? Maybe I should be Toad. James is gonna be Mario. Critical Drinker as Mario. So everyone hates me? Oh, man. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Now we got this flim flam out of here. The Andortisms. I mean, considering this stream with Andor, I'll probably do like the next 2 episodes as well in a package. I think kind of makes sense. I've done them all in the package now. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll let everyone know when I'm gonna talk about this. Should be a thing I'll do. But yeah. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats and all that good stuff. And I'm out of here. I'm probably just gonna chill out for the rest of the night. Maybe I'll do an impromptu Silent Hill stream. I don't know yet. I have not thought about what I'm gonna do tonight. So yeah, go enjoy EFAB in the meantime. That should go live, I assume, in like 20 minutes. And I shall catch you all around. Thank you so much for hanging out. Goodbye.